Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, thanks. Okay, here we are, Finance Committee, March 18th, 2026. It's 6:44 p.m., right on time.
That's
Uh,
not.
Not too bad. A little challenging with Zoom. And as far as we know, do we have any? Well, anyway, we'll call the order. It looks like everybody's here. So I'll just say all in attendance. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Um, did everybody get a chance to see the agenda from last time? Next thing we're supposed to do is adopt this agenda. I'm sorry, my fault. Uh, Agenda. So there was agenda and then there was an amendment to the agenda for today. Everybody got to see the amendment to the agenda also, all those lovely numbers.
Oh yeah, your little report, not little,
Yeah,
but yeah, okay.
yeah,
But
it's
there
a
was
Yeah, that was
no,
report.
nice. That was nice. Nice. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. Yeah, just
Yeah.
as some. So what I did this year,
well, I think, Jean, I think we first have to make a motion to adopt the agenda.
can we adopt the agenda with the amendments? All in favor? Aye.
What,
Aye.
Aye.
Right?
All
Aye.
right. Thank you, Laurie. And then uh, what I did was there are a number of us, three of us now, that are on the Sun Valley board, and Joel does a wonderful presentation during the board meeting, which he did last Thursday. And information I took was from his meeting. Basically, I listened to most of what he said last week, and I try to put it down in a way that he doesn't have to hopefully repeat too much of it.
Gene,
But
may I
yep,
interrupt you just briefly?
yeah,
Who is Joel? What's his last name and what's his role, please?
Joel Haverling, he's our accountant, our head of finance. So he's the one that puts together all our numbers and um, sets the budget and is in charge of accounting.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I don't know if he's here yet. He was gonna.
Yeah, I'm
Yep, you're
here.
here. Okay, very good. Thanks for coming, Joel.
Yeah.
So anyway, I did the best I could to sort of summarize what Joel had said during the meeting. And I don't know, Joel, I don't know if you saw it or not. And if you did see it, if you had any comments that you want to make sure everybody understands.
Well, I think, I mean, actually what you have in those PDF pages and in conjunction with, if people, of course, most of the people on the finance committee are all on the board anyways, but like you said, if people had watched the presentation, that would be it would have covered everything very well at this point.
Okay, okay, very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So before we get into too much in finances, I guess next thing is announcements. Does anybody have any announcements? No announcements. I don't have any announcements either. Um, Property owner comments. Joel, are you the one that's sort of taking care of everybody here? Can you see if there's property owners that need to make any comments or would like any presentation?
Gene, I think
I
that's
don't
probably,
see, I don't
Who's
see
sorry,
anyone in the
Joel.
chat at all.
okay? What were you saying, Rob?
Oh, I was just going to say that Carmen's our admin support person. I think she's probably got the meeting.
Oh, I
Yeah,
did. Okay, great. I didn't know if she was still
she's
attending.
driving, but
Hi,
yeah.
it's me. Sorry, what's going?
I just want to know if there was any owner comments or any owners online that wanted anything to
Um,
say.
not. No, nobody.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Unless any of the owners on the finance committee have any comments.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
All
don't
right.
see nobody's on. There's one attendee, but no comments.
No comments. No raised hand.
Yeah.
No.
The only comment I have is I'm really tired of the rain. I want sunshine.
Yeah, I think we're all there with you. I
So I
agree.
guess my question is, do we really have this open to the community for our finance meeting. They can zoom in and ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I checked the Zoom link is on the Finance Committee webpage, so anyone can get
Yes.
in from the
Well, they
community.
could listen, but I mean, are they have the right to give the 3 minutes or whatever and their opinion and talk about numbers during
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
meeting?
They can do a comment or raise hand, or if somebody wants to become a panelist to come in for 3 minutes and talk, they have the opportunity to.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I
That's always been?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we've always run the Finance Committee meetings like that as well. And in the past, especially during budget time and stuff like that, you will see member comments or people wanting to make comments from the community.
Other
yeah.
than that, probably a handful in the past 20 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There haven't been, I have been to meetings where there have been people that had comments, but like you said, it's very rare.
So
So
yes, so the best way to increase community involvement is to put a really hot button issue on the agenda.
right.
Then you would
So
have
that's happening at 7 o'clock tonight, but they're not taking any property owner comments.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There you
Well, all right. Okay, so moving on from property owner comments, I guess now it's the approval of the minutes, so I apologize. So anybody have any questions or edits for last month's meeting minutes?
Nope.
go.
Nope.
Okay, do we have a vote to approve the minutes from last meeting?
So
All in
moved.
favor?
I do. I'll put my
Alright.
hand in front of my face and that
Alright.
works.
All right, all right, aye. All right, looks like that unanimous. John, aye?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so, and then
No.
reports. Rob?
Oh, sorry, Gene. I was trying to unclick the video and I hit the my mute.
Oh, no,
Sorry.
that's okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, nope, that's okay. I like that picture on the boat, though.
Mhm.
So December financials, I guess we started talking about this a little bit earlier. Like Joel said, if you happen to hear his presentation and then kind of have a summary of my notes, probably got a good gist of what was there. Are there any questions about it before I do? I have a couple more comments I wanted to make on it, but anybody have any questions about it? Okay, no
Nope.
questions. All right, I need to get bumped into I'm all discombobulated with how things have happened. So the only other thing that I was going to say, and Joel, feel free to correct me if I'm saying something wrong. The only reason why I'm speaking is because I kind of did these sheets, and I hope you don't mind that I did this. I'm not trying to step on any toes. I'm just trying to help people if they don't have a chance to listen to your presentation.
Oh, no, yeah, not at all.
Okay, thank you. So
Yeah.
a couple of things on the income. I did end up asking Joel what the other income was. You guys may not have this on. This is on the income statement. So I think it's the second sheet. But for the year, it was like 165,000. That's pretty significant. And I had no idea what all went into that. So I was happy Joel could provide that. And some of you may know, but I didn't know. And where some of that money comes from is at the three largest categories was advertising income, compliance fees and fines, and then title and recording fees, which I'm not sure what that is, but it might have to do with new house building or something like that.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's correct. Okay.
The operating portion, but obviously we did away with the capital transfer fee that actually we refunded back in basically the end of 2021, beginning of 2022.
Yeah. So I think one of the reasons I think you mentioned that this is a pretty good bucket of money is because I think we had a little bit of increase in some of our fees and we're doing better at collecting them. Is that right?
Yeah, basically in 2024, that's when Joanne really spearheaded increasing the building fees. And that's what initially at the end of year end 2024, which got us that 300, little over $300,000 surplus. And as I shared at the board meeting, that amount is really what helped bail us out of that November bomb cyclone event, the cleanup for that event.
Right, right. So that was very helpful. And then there was some, we did better in some categories that was mentioned in the notes. And that was, we saved money in some of the expense categories. And my understanding is Joanne worked very hard with the managers to try to tighten up their belts a little bit so that in the end of the year, really our net loss was minimal since some of our expenses were up, but from budget. But in the end, from the maintenance and landscaping, and I think some of the salaries and benefits were kind of tightened up a little bit. And so we, at the end of the year, we were only less than 1% over budget, which I think as tough of a year as it was with Joanne and Joel working on this, it's really helped Sun Valley out.
Yes, that's correct. So, I mean, so basically in 2025, at the end of the year, it's always the usual suspects in terms of the costs out here. Obviously, one of the most concerning costs, and we have very little control over it, will be the hazardous tree removal. And that's why in the 2026 budget, that line item was increased to 250,000.
Right. So, and it's just a note about the capital reserve funds. So these funds, you are sort of these are the capital funds, which are come from the sort of the number of items that we approve in our monthly meetings. So those capital expenses, and where that money comes from is this capital reserve funds, whether it's for roads or from just different projects we have or equipment or whatever. So if you're saying, where is this money coming from? It's from a budgeted process that extends many years out. But you can see sort of a summary of it in that reserve cash balance. And then there's a UDR. So anything else on that, Joel?
No, basically, like you already covered it. So the monthly dues, of course, is that everyone's aware. That comprises 4 elements: the operating element, SURF, roads, and mailboxes. And that is the number one. Those are obviously for SURF, roads, mailboxes. That's the primary source of revenue getting into those funds.
All right. And just so you guys know, I know the people on the board know this, but I don't know that John and Marty know that these numbers basically where the obligated expense holding is. That said, that money, you can see how it's allocated if you go to that capital projects report that I sent. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but Joel was so kind to provide it to me, and I passed it on to you so that you can hopefully start understanding the flow of money a little bit better. Because I think it's difficult when you haven't been looking at these for a long time to understand kind of where all the money goes, where it's coming from and where it's going to. So that's why I provided that other sheet. So, right.
Yeah, and typically every month this open capital project report will be behind the financial statements and the board agenda. It just looks like for whatever reason, December, they didn't get included like on the final agenda.
Right. Okay, very good. So then the only other thing that I have to add, and then if Joel or anybody has any questions, certainly feel free to raise your hand, to say something, is that there was, I guess, a comment made that just to be aware that our role is pretty important, because as we move forward, things are getting more and more expensive. And we only have so much that we can increase our dues from year to year. And so we just have to be conscious and hopefully be smart about how we spend, not that we don't spend money, because we have a lot of wonderful things that are worth living here for. And so it's just that make sure we're giving thoughtful time to it when we're thinking about our capital expenses. Anything else? No? Joel, you good?
Yeah, yeah.
I got a question for Joe.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so we touched on this briefly last meeting, but the year end, which is the end of December, all those categories have to be processed. All payment that is done and spent in 25 has to happen by December 31st, right, Joel?
Now, when you mean all payment, are you talking about capital projects or?
I guess, there's any incoming that happens in December by the last day of the month. We close our year end at
Yes,
31st, correct?
right. Yes. So it sounds like basically what you're getting at is the cutoff of the financial statements.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I'm still, I guess I'm new at this, but I'm still trying to process why it takes, a couple months to get the end results for the year end. Is it because all the stuff has to go into the different categories and that takes
Oh,
time
yes.
to figure out?
Yeah, and for us here, of course, a big place like this, since obviously we're akin to a municipality in a sense, but all of the major invoices that we get in and stuff, they'll they will show up. Oh, like for example, Unilect. Like we didn't get the Unilect invoices until like the beginning of March, I believe, at that point. So we can have a lot of money outstanding on invoices that come in, like February. It's February for certain. We'll be getting all sorts of invoices, but it takes time for all of that to show up, and then we'll have to, in terms of the cutoff for the year-end cutoff, to accrue that back into the previous year, expense it back into the previous year. So yes, it takes. If all the
I see.
invoices just
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I see you're getting invoiced like in February, and
That's
then you're
correct. Yeah.
accruing them back into the year that really the expenses
Yes.
happened.
Yeah.
And that's
And
all, that's legal to do that?
oh yeah, absolutely. Matter of
Wired.
fact, that's
Okay.
one of the audit tests is testing for a cutoff, in terms
Huh.
of taking a look at even though let's just say someone sent us an invoice in March or April for that matter, and we'll say it's $200,000. That
Yeah.
will have to be accrued back into December if it relates to 2025.
Wow. Okay.
Especially if it's a material amount. If it's something that's not as material, then auditors will let that slide because that just happens in the course of any business. Not every invoice is going to show up, like perfectly. But yeah, that hopefully that answers your question. But like for
Yeah.
example, payroll, there's another good example. So like for example, the very first payroll of January related all to 2025. So those were all dates worked in 2025. So that payroll, even though it was paid in January, gets accrued back into 2025.
Wow.
If you kind of think of it, Ray, it's kind of like it's the date the event happened, not the date you received notice of
Yes,
it.
right.
Oh,
Like
okay.
your electric bill for the month of December that you got in January, that's
Mhm.
actually, even if you didn't pay it in December, because you're paying it January when you get the invoice, that's still a December expense.
Yes.
But now, if you forgot to pay for a box of Girl Scout cookies and in April your neighbor said, "Hey, I never got the $6 for the Girl Scout cookies," that is something that they let slide because it's $6. But
Right.
Okay.
something major, sometimes companies have to reopen their books.
Yes.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Well, I
Yes.
learned
It's
something
fun.
there.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
of course that's called which we're under, which most businesses are going to be under the accrual method of accounting.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. Ours was under accrual. See, we started out, when we first started, it was small enough we could do cash. But when you start making so much revenue, I don't remember what it is, then you have to change to accrual. So
Yeah,
after a year or two, we changed to accrual in our business too. So it's really common.
that's
Okay.
correct. Yeah. And even businesses that are under cash basis, like inventory purchase and stuff like that, will still need to be accounted for under an accrual method.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. That it? We good?
Joel's pushing for a store with inventory so that he can, sell merchandise, so he can do all of that
Yeah.
accounting involved with the sales tax and
Yeah,
retail.
and that will
That's
go like, for example, right?
Nope,
That goes
leave
through
that
expenses
leave
and
that
revenue.
all to Kevin.
yeah. Look, Kevin probably has some of that for sure.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah. Okay, so
they're ignoring us right now.
any more questions? Anybody? Pretty good. Great. So we're up to capital new business, which is first one is capital request. And this is going to be something that Kevin's going to be asking for. So Kevin, are you there?
I am.
Hi. Do you wanna kind of read what you're proposing here?
Yes, you bet. So first of all, it's three pieces of equipment. The first piece of equipment is our range picker cart, which is going on its sixth year, and it's getting very tired. I'm recommending that we go with the same essentially model, new improved model from Club Car. We also get our golf carts from Club Car. So you just see two bids there. I tried several times. I got Easy Go, and I also tried to get Yamaha several times on the phone. They promised me bids, never got me any bids, and both other companies were not willing to give a trade as well. Which Club Car, again, we get our golf carts from, and so they're going to treat us pretty well, giving us a $3,250 trade on our current cart. But again, that cart's getting very tired, burns a lot of oil, and has issues. So it's good time to get a new cart. So so that's essentially 14,709 after our trade in. Do you want me to go on to the two other items?
Yeah. I guess just do a quick sort of. So, well, let me just say I've got a question. So,
Yeah.
and this might be for Joel. So the golf picker and the servant ball washer have the same ID number. Are those two different pieces of equipment, or are they the same one? I guess Kevin or Joel, whoever knows that.
They're two different pieces of equipment. I started talking about capital with Joanne when she was here previously, and told her we really needed three pieces of equipment, and the bulk washer wasn't really on there, and said, well, we should be able to merge those together. So I included it with the same code essentially. So hopefully
Okay.
that.
All right. I don't know if that's something that Joel needs to reassign a different number if it matters. I don't know that. So it
Yeah,
looks like, go ahead.
This can happen commonly. Like, for example, let's just say we have one item on the reserve study. I'll just make this up, a truck, for example. And then we'll say the truck it's on there for 75,000. And then we'll say in this case, Mike wants to get this truck and it costs 50,000, but he wants to spend the other 25,000 on a plow, like a detachable snow plow. And then both items come up together to 75,000. So it's adhering to the 20, in this case, we'll pretend it's happening in 2026. So it's adhering to the 2026 budgeted amount on the 10-year capital budget plan. But then depending on how it's captured in the open project report, when we do the 2027 budget, I might put them on as two separate line items the next time. I might say truck 55,000, snowplow 20,000, or a 50-25, I think I said in the example, but that gives you an example. So really it's coming down to how much is this stuff on the 2026 capital plan, like the dollar amount.
Right. Okay. Right. So it looks like, according to this, that we actually budgeted $32,473 to replace the equipment, but am I correct, Kevin, in that you're only asking for 22,378?
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, I think it was just put in there. You know, the stuff has not gone up as much. And again, the picking unit that I chose is a little bit less than the last time we purchased one. I went with that one essentially because it has the biggest drums essentially for picking up the balls and stuff. And
Right.
you know, I think it's a really good unit, and hopefully it'll pick up balls faster. And again, it's a little less money. As far as the ball washer itself, they had a $300 promotion ongoing, and Rain Service Company, I went with them, so I went with them. Essentially, that style ball washer is been around forever. All three companies that I got bids from have that similar style. It's like I said, it's been around for like 30 years, and they hold up really well. I mean, you know, you have to replace the drum, you know, every 5 years or so. But as far as that unit, you know, we've had since, you know, 2018, and we haven't had much problem with it at all. So that's kind of how I chose my items. And again, I was tickled that they fell way below budget. So,
Yeah, I did go below budget. It's really good.
yeah.
Anybody have any questions?
Now, this is Rob. I do.
Yeah.
It's great that it's below budget, but I have a couple questions. So
Sure.
the picking unit, in terms of volume, does it, if you had a really busy range day in the summer, would that picker be like half full? Would it be completely full? Is there an opportunity can you go to a smaller unit and save some money, or is this really what we need?
Yeah, good question. Good question. You know, usually the picking units come with either 3 or 5 gangs. We're kind of a medium-sized range, so we actually go with a 3 gang. I had the option to go with a 5 gang and didn't go that route because of the costs, and I thought that a 3 gang would be totally efficient. And plus, a 5 gang gets a little wide. You know, you have, you know, essentially 20-year-olds driving that cart, and I just thought that I wanted to be safe and, you know, and not running over the flag sticks and such like that with a bigger unit. So it's hard to go with. I mean, I don't know of any smaller units. And again, we take it out on a busy day at least twice a day, and that it gets used a lot. So
Great, thank you. That helps. That answers that. And then one other last question.
sure.
On the cart itself, is that take a special cart to push that picker, or is it about the size of a normal golf cart that I see people out driving around when they're playing?
It's a lot. It's more of like a maintenance utility vehicle. It's definitely more beefy and stuff. It has a special frame on the front. Yeah, so it's more powerful than a normal cart, and yeah.
Great. Hey, thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else have questions? You all good? Okay, all right. Well, then what is the motion? I'll get I'll read the request and then I'll read the motion. The request that the board directors approve $22,378,000.46 from CRRRF for the purchase of the club car carry-all, the Par West picking unit, and the range servant ball washer. So the motion is, I move that the Finance Committee recommend to the Sun Valley Board of Directors to approve $22,378.46 from the SURF Fund for the purchase of the club car carry-all, the Par West picking unit, and the range servant ball washer. All in favor?
I second it first. We're going to second it.
Oh, second. Who needs
Second.
second?
I think I did, but Ray might have too. So
Yeah.
All right. All right. And then all in favor?
aye.
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 Aye. Is that unanimous? John, did I hear you?
Yes, aye.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Kevin.
There you go, Kevin.
Yeah. Thanks for the pencils the other day.
You got it.
Good advertising.
Yeah.
I plugged you.
All
No
right.
problem.
So now, sorry, I'm scrolling down to the next one. So this one is the purpose of this memo is to request board approval of the 2026 contract with the Cisco Solutions for pool services and chemicals. This is made by Joanne, and she's not here, so I'm just going to read it. And if there's questions, we'll see how we can work through those questions, unless Joel has some ideas of some answers.
And Joanne asked me to sit in as well in case you might have questions.
Oh, who's over there?
Oh,
Oh,
there you go.
Mike, hi.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, I'll let you do
Perfect.
this, Mike. I don't have
Hey,
to talk. I'll let you talk.
So yeah, as you mentioned, this capital request is to renew our contract with Cisco for the 2026 pool season. They've been our certified pool operator since 2015. And they provide excellent service. And I'll say that, we work closely with Dennis, who's the tech that normally comes out, and his knowledge is invaluable on our pool. Our pool is unique in the way it's designed. And so there's a lot of moving pieces there, and he's a great help. And we work pretty closely with him in maintenance, getting the covers off in the spring and closing it up in the fall, shadowing the chemicals and stuff like that. So do you have any specific questions about it if you all read it, or it's pretty brief?
I have a question, Mike, and I'm really not trying to throw a right curve at you guys, but just a thought. The community pool that we used to live in, our community pool, used a lot of automated equipment. It had sensors that sensed the pool chemistry, and then it would automatically dispense the chemicals as needed. Every year, this is kind of an expensive contract, and it might be that if we looked into automation, and maybe it wouldn't pay for itself in an ROI or something like that. But I'm not disagreeing with what we need to have pool chemistry this year. But I really urge you guys, you and Kyle, to look into, is there some savings for our community to look at automation of the chemistry, so we don't have a company coming in and charging us quite that much every year?
It's certainly something we can look into, and I can ask Dennis about that. The other piece of that is you're required to have a certified operator, which Cisco provides for us. And so that's the regulation that you have to have.
Right. But what I'm saying is, as an alternative, and I'll just leave you with that, is I really urge Sudden Valley to look at, is there a way to automate the chemistry and see if there's some savings for us, so somebody's not having to constantly come in. So yeah.
May I ask that I think that's a great point, Rob. May I ask Mike, what is the ask here? What's the dollar amount, please?
So the estimated total cost is $47,440. That's your chemicals, all the labor, them checking the water quality, like Rob pointed out. So that's the total. And this is a time and material. So it's more time and material than contract. The last 2 years, I think we've been under the estimated cost.
Yeah, and by the way, as well, this pool management line item is budgeted in the operating budget, obviously under pools. For 2026, the budget amount is $60,000. So this 47,440, and we also do in that budget line item we do expense like utilities like water and natural gas related to the pools itself. But with this dollar amount and what we budgeted, this should be just fine. If anything, it might even come in a little under budget at the end of 2026.
And on this, almost half of it is the cost of the chemicals.
Correct.
Which we would have regardless of what kind of system we had. And I don't know if you know this, Mike, but are we subject to different rules because our pool is open to the public?
I'm not 100% sure about that, but I believe so. I know
Yeah,
that
I think
we
so. If
come
we
out
were
and
just, if it was a
they come
closed,
out and get inspected every year,
yeah.
and they come out and look at things, and so we always pass, but
And this is for both pools, correct?
correct.
Yeah.
The adult center pool and the main pool.
It's about the same as last year.
No, no, I'm not saying it's, why are we doing this? I'm just saying we should be always looking for ways to improve in terms of cost and productivity. That's all.
Yeah, that's definitely something we could look into. What it would basically save us would be that $18,585.
A part of it.
Yeah,
Just
And
because
even then, you would have someone coming out as the certified operator
right.
things.
So
It's well documented. They take samples of the water, document the chemistry to make sure we're good with the health department.
mhm.
So I have a question. So it looks like last year we didn't spend as much we budgeted, which is great. And part of that was because we used our own labor here. How do you know how, Mike or Joel, how that translates? So we paid less on the contract because we use our own labor, but how much did our labor actually cost to do this? Do we know that?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I mean, the way I kind of look at it is, we're there anyway,
Uh-huh.
doing some whatever. So I don't know if it's, apples to apples.
Yeah, you could kind of, just like what Mike said, if someone was scheduled to work 8 hours and they fit that into their 8 hour day anyways, it's kind of, I guess, kind of a little of a sunk cost, so to speak. Meaning, if they didn't do that, could we cut them back to 7 hours? Probably not, I'm guessing.
Okay. Okay. I was just curious if we knew if it was really saving or, how that was going. But no, I think it was fine. Like I said, it didn't reach the budget last year, which is good. It was less than budgeted and we're
Yes.
asking for no more. So
I had a
Yeah.
question for Mike, if it's a good time. This is
Sure.
Ray.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep, great.
So the contract, most of it's chemicals, but there was about 18,000 in labor. And is so that certified person, what certification is that? And is that person coming in every day, a couple
They come
times?
in, they come in weekly.
So they come in weekly.
Yeah.
And that's just for the 3 months, correct? That we're
Correct.
open.
Well, the pool's in operation.
So they come 12 times.
Yeah, and
And
sometimes twice weekly. It depends on the weather a lot with the pools. Like if you have a hot sunny day and you use more chlorine, if there's more swimmers. So it is a little bit weather dependent too on how much they are
okay, so
coming.
they come in 12 times. It's almost like $1,000 every time they come and a little bit more. Um, and our people are doing daily tests.
Kyle's folks do daily test as well. Yeah,
Okay. And then there's a log that's being recorded,
correct.
thinking. There's all kinds of new stuff on the market all the time. It's changing for pools. Is ours still chlorine?
Yes,
Okay. Both pools are chlorine.
yeah, correct.
Okay. I don't know. What is the credential? What is it, a certificate? Is it hard to get that certificate? Is it
I'm not 100% sure. I know there's training involved in CEOs, like you have to continued education.
yeah,
I'm not sure the initial outlay to that.
okay. Well, if we can it's just an option. If we can look at to educate some of our people to be able to do that, get a certification, that could save us a whole lot of money. I mean, if it's a week class and somebody has to pass, and then you got to keep updating the certificate. I mean, the more we can do in-house, the better. But I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, sure.
May I ask a question?
Yes, yes, John.
I'm just curious. Is there a particular reason that we need to vote on this now, or
Mhm.
is there a deadline or something that needs to happen? We're looking at, this months away from the pool opening.
Yes, it may be months away, but it starts like next month. Getting things ready, it's a process. And like I said, our pool is very unique. There's none like it around, so there's quite a bit of a startup process there. And then we actually have it. We need it open ahead of the public opening for the lifeguard training, and so it takes a while to ramp up to get it heated and whatnot for that.
One thing that might be helpful for John too is our committee is only making a recommendation to the board, and the board's going to approve this or not. We could recommend to approve, and they could reject it, but it's coming through our committee to help them with review, and then we make a recommendation.
Anybody else? We good. I will tell you.
One last quick question from Mike. You mentioned how long this company has been working with Sun Valley. Could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, 2015.
Okay, so
11 years.
good long time. Thank you.
Very good. Yeah, I would tell you, I've done it.
Yeah, but we
Go
had
ahead, Ray.
so Mike, we kind of threw two ideas at you. Sorry, one was automation, and one was possible to get somebody in-house to get what it would cost to get them educated and a certificate, so we could do it in-house. Is there something that we can ask you to follow up on that? So like next year we know the answers, that the best thing, we're doing the best thing is what we're doing right now. Or we can
Isn't the automation that just is a release of the chemicals into the pool to keep everything balanced. What a lot of what this company does is a lot more than that. Not only do they, inspect our, the heater in the pool, but they also keep up with the state and county Department of Health, because we are a public pool. So we have the same requirements as like Arnie Hanna and stuff does, not the same as like Glenhaven does. So there's a lot of reporting. I mean, if something were to happen and we have fecal matter in our pools reported, or we have waterborne illness that happens, there's a whole lot that they're going to do that we do not have the people here with the knowledge to take care of that. So trying to pull a public pool into an in-house operation is like us trying to take over the restaurant. It's just not something that I would ever support us taking on, because still the labor, you're still going to have the labor even if it's an automatic pool system.
Well, I guess I would just gently push back a little bit and say all we're asking is to look at some alternatives and see what it would take, and what is there any cost savings there. We're talking earlier about we're asking departments to try to find some ways to save money. If it's just a simple certification and somebody looks at the data, I don't know. I'm not a pool expert, but I was on the board on this particular community pool. We didn't have anybody come in, and it was a community pool. We didn't have anybody come in and do this type of certifications for us. We had experts look at the chemistry data that they were getting reports from the sampling equipment saying, this is the chemistry properties of the pool water right now. So I'm just saying, if we ought to be looking for ways to save money. And if we're putting ourselves at risk, then, that's maybe too much risk, but I'm just asking our staff to maybe let's look at it. What would it take?
Yeah, I think it's always good to be looking. I will say that Laurie brings up a good point. There is a liability aspect to this too.
Mm-hmm.
And that has happened. It happened last summer where,
it would be different if people couldn't come and buy a pass and go in. It would be different if it was a closed community pool and we had some control over who was using the pool. You could possibly handle it a lot differently, but because we are a public operation, we really, even if you look at all they have people come in
We could have a
We could
sidebar.
definitely look at it. I just don't know
Yeah.
that we want to use our staff resources right
Yeah,
now.
we could have a sidebar on it. Our community pool was open to the public. We sold day passes too. So
Yeah, so I think it makes sense, maybe, Mike, if we maybe bring some of this forward and Joanne can sort of help sort of ferret some of this out, see if we can't get some information. But I think it'd be nice to get some answers. I agree. You don't want to put the community at risk by any means. I've swum in a lot of pools in my lifetime. I swam since the time I was 3 and on teams all the way through high school and beyond. And so I've swam in some good pools and some bad pools, but I don't think it hurts to look into this stuff. But realizing that, weighing it with the risk that's involved, and there's going to be a cost involved too. So I think it all. So I think it's worth maybe, in all your free time, Mike.
Yeah.
Sorry, is to maybe look into some of this, and if and I can certainly talk to Joanne, to see if we can get some help to look into some of these different things. I think certainly as getting a certification and what that takes, I think that's probably the easier one. I think how the automation works into everything might be a little more difficult, but
And it depends on what we're talking about automation. I don't know how much you know about the main pool, but it is having the chemicals fed there automated.
Right.
It's not like your hot tub where you walk out and put chemicals in once a week. So there's a lot of automation already there.
Right. Yeah, there has to be for sure.
Yeah, plus from an insurance standpoint, liability insurance, that could be another problem as well.
Sure. Yeah. No, that's all good factors to take into account.
Gene, may I ask if it's time to make a motion?
Yes, thank you. I was just getting there. So I'll read the request again. The request is that the SVCA Board of Directors approve the 2026 Cisco Solutions contract and authorize the general managers to sign it on their behalf. Motion. I move that we recommend to the SVCA Board of Directors to approve the 2026 Cisco Solutions contract and authorize the general manager to sign it on their behalf. A second?
Do we need, are we
seconding?
We did last time. Yeah, second. Rob, we did last time, so I'm just trying to stay consistent.
Rob?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, everybody? Okay. All right, very good. Thank you, folks. Good discussion, good thoughts.
Thanks,
What
Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
supposed to do. Yep, thank you, Mike. So Mike, is this yours also, the security system?
Yeah, well, I'm here for Joanne on this one as well. She just asked me, it's her request, but asked me to sit in case you had questions. This one is to upgrade the security cameras at the marina. And when you go into the entrance to the marina, off to the right-hand side towards the golf course, there's a pole there. And there's 5 cameras on that pole that are very problematic. And they're power over Ethernet. And so that's kind of the issue with them. There's no power to it, and they're older devices. So this request is to relocate that pole to the entrance of the marina, route power to it, because there's a meter right there as you come into the marina on the right-hand side is where the power meter is. So there's power accessible, and then we could put 2 new cameras to cover that area of the marina on that pole. One would be kind of a 360 camera to catch all the dry storage on that end of the marina, and then one that was designed to read license plates for cars coming into the marina. And you may or may not know, we have had vandalism issues down there. Some of which is just, kids playing around doing donuts in the gravel and making a mess. But last summer we also had some folks go into the bathrooms and cause some damage, broke a sink and plugged some toilets. And so that license plate camera would be pretty beneficial.
We had
That's kind of the gist of it.
fuel stolen also.
300. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. We did have fuel stolen also from some of the vessels
Oh, wow.
and batteries. So yeah, we're in need of better security. There's
So
thousands of dollars down there, thousands.
Yeah.
And may I ask, what is the dollar amount asked for this relocation of the pole and the cameras?
The total is 19,318.45 is the estimate. And that includes moving the pole, the electrical work, and then the 2 new cameras.
And I assume that the new technology, because it's grabbing license plates and so forth, has really high resolution. And
Yes.
how are people going to be monitoring this? I mean, what's the technological capture of this? Do you know,
So
Mike?
it's like our other security cameras around Sudden Valley, and it's all goes to the cloud. So you can, go back and look at the recordings, and then also security has access to it, and they monitor it when they're not on their patrols.
there's also, I just want to mention this for those, this funding part, that SERP includes $32,621 for the replacement of a radio system that's used in Sudden Valley. However, I guess it's believed that the current radio system is in good condition, so we don't need to spend that money at this point. And so this 19,000 will be funded from this 32,000. So there's money there for it, it looks like.
Yeah, that's correct.
Mike, this is Rob. Have you guys had a chance to kind of look at how well these cameras operate? Like for example, some of those end tie slips are a bit out from the entrance to the marina. So those end tie slips, for example, are you going to be able to see pretty well if somebody's climbing on those boats out there?
I don't know that you'd see out to the very end, but you'd certainly see the closer boats really well. They zoom in pretty darn good.
Yeah,
And you'd be able to see the gates.
Yes.
that's right.
So you can
That's
see who's
right.
going in and out. I mean,
Yeah,
if
I
somebody
think the
gets from
one
boat-
gate you can see from, there's a camera in the marine office pole, and so you can see the east gate from that. This new camera would pick up the west gate.
Right. I think Laurie's referring to the entrance to the wet slips gate, that gate.
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. I would assume, like, I know our boat, somebody kicked the front and dented our boat while it was in the water. So I'm assuming that's not another slip resident. I'm assuming it's probably something who went around the gate. And I'm guessing if something would happen to like one of the boats on the end, it most likely would not be a boat coming from the water and damaging that boat, unless they ran into it. I mean, I'm talking vandalism, not accidents. And I don't think it would be another slip owner who would go down and vandalize a boat. I think the vandalism is coming from non-boat owners who are getting over around. I mean, honestly, right now those gates aren't hard to get around.
No.
You could jump from the gate to my boat.
Yeah.
One of the huge benefits of this proposal of doing this would be to move the camera to the entrance. So you would see everybody coming down through the entrance. And the way it is right now, you don't pick them up until later. So if you were able to see a vehicle or a pedestrian coming in, you would have a very good view of them at the entrance and then be able to, through the video, track where they went. Even if you couldn't get like a super close up, you could tell it was the same person.
What about night imagery? Are you able to, some security cameras have pretty good night imagery?
I was just going to ask about that.
Oh, good.
Night imagery, Mike?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, they do have night imagery, but it's pretty close up. It gets very far away and you lose the visibility. For the license plate camera, they said that, it will work at night. But they did recommend, even if you had just a little bit of light there, like just a little bit of solar light would be beneficial.
So I didn't quite hear. So you said the night imagery is pretty good, or it's only good close up, or?
It's just very good for close distance. Once you get very far away, it's hard to see.
Okay, yeah. Have you actually have you seen these or seen a demo of these cameras and how they take pictures?
Well, we have current, so some of these cameras are very similar to some of the ones we already have. And they're great. They zoom
Okay.
in well. The 360 view one I have not seen in person. I've read the literature, and talked to the reps, and I think it'd be a very good camera.
Okay. Any other questions?
I don't have a question on the expense for the prop, for the electrical and the cameras and everything, and think it's good. I don't think it's going to put a big dent in stopping vandalism at the marina, because most of it happens at dark.
Right.
I think the only way to really do that is security, different capital request.
Mike, have you looked? I mean, I think it's a good point. Have you looked into any cameras that would be better at night?
I don't know that they exist. I mean, I can
Don't
certainly
know,
look
yeah.
into it, but I don't think the cameras like we're talking about.
Right.
You're not going to get a camera that you can see, 20, 50 yards away.
Right. Okay.
Get a key card gate at the marina, which records who goes in and out 24/7.
Yep.
I see Rob smiling.
Yeah.
You go, Laurie.
That idea has been passed around for many, many years.
Well, at least with this, you would know which vehicles are coming and going if they're
Exactly.
Right. That's
I don't know that might not be a better expense than cameras.
the
So it
key
looks like
card.
we got funds to do this, so we're in good shape on
Mm-hmm.
money.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So any other question? Go ahead.
Oh no, I said I was agreeing with Ray. Yep.
Okay. So I'll read the request. I request that the SVCA Board of Directors approve the $19,318.45 from SURF for the proposed upgrade to the Marina security system. And in motion, I move that the Finance Committee recommend to the SVCA Board of Directors approve $19,318.45 from SURF for the proposed upgrade to the Marina security system. A second?
Second.
Somebody?
Second.
Okay, Laurie. All in favor? Aye.
My screen went away, so I'm not sure, but I can hear you.
See, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's unanimous.
I
Let me
deny.
know. What's that?
I would like to deny, please.
You want to deny? You want to abstain?
No, deny. Deny the proposal.
Oh, deny the
Vote
proposal?
against.
Yes.
Against, okay. Okay, so we've got 5, 4, and 1 against. It carries, but I'll let them know that. John, do you have anything you want to say about that, or you're just gonna say you're not comfortable with this?
I think the points that people made are very valid. I don't see the necessity of deciding on this right now. I think more information needs to be gleaned from night cameras or capturing license plates as they enter and exit, and so forth. So I think more information needs to be gleaned.
Okay. I'll put that, so hopefully that will be in the notes too, and we'll make sure that there's some consideration during the board meeting.
Thank you.
Just to clarify, the license plate camera does grab license plates coming in and out.
At night, I think John's concern is at night. How clear is it?
That's correct. I think Laurie's comments were quite accurate. I think most of the activity might happen in the evening hours. Thank you.
Yeah, my understanding is the license plate camera works at night.
Yeah, if we have, will we have light on the post?
That's an option. We may add a little light to the post, but the reps that we dealt with said that the license plate camera would work without.
Okay.
Is that
And that's
right?
what
Oh,
you
okay.
you see
Okay.
who's coming in and out, and these cars went in, this happened, and then they went out after the action happened. Or, if cars. However, if they're teenagers and they're not driving a car,
Still a
you're not gonna stop the vandalism 100%. That's why we all have insurance.
good idea, and I'm not sure how much expense it would be, but a low voltage lighting at night that would eliminate that some of that dry storage would be nice.
Or even at the solar.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, maybe we can have this discussion at the board meeting because I think they're all good points to maybe increase the lighting a little bit. Unless you want to revisit this now.
Well, we need to what the job of this committee is to simply give a recommendation. It'll either be yes, we recommend it, or no, we don't recommend it, and this is why. And then it's out of our hands and it goes to the board, and then the board will discuss it. And of course, the three of us here, Jean, myself, and Ray, can certainly bring up any other. It could be like we recommend doing it. However, we don't think this is the end all be all to our security situation at the marina. And that could be another subject, and that's been brought up often. But we just need to know as a committee that the majority of us are recommending that the board approve the use of these funds for a new camera and moving the pole and installing the new cameras.
Right. Yes, I agree. Okay. Very good. Thank you, Laurie. Okay, so I think that comes to the conclusion of our meeting tonight, unless anybody has anything else they want to say or comment on.
Just really quickly, I just want to thank Mike and Kevin and Joel for hanging out with, and Carmen hanging out with us later in the evening.
Of
Well,
course,
You're
anything to
welcome.
help.
Thank you.
Yeah, second it. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
folks.
Yes,
guys.
thank you.
Second all that. Yeah, thanks for everybody's participation. Good comments.
All right.
Right.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys. Good
thank
night.
you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.